welcome to my channel. I'm Lori and this is Jacob's Homestead, and today we're gonna go out for a walk and I'm gonna take you by and see some of my garden area. So here we go. This is my baby. This is my Lydia. We usually let the dogs out. Okay, hurry up. No, Lydia. She likes to chase. This is my deck. It's a bit messy. We've been painting and doing stuff. Our homestead, we've been doing this. We're on the grid. We're trying to go off grid. We've been off grid before for many years when our kids were younger. And I'll just give you a little zoom. My little messy porch. But this swing here, I have a story about it. I've had this for 18 years. I paint it every year. I haven't done it this year, so it looks really bad. But I usually do it before the end of the fall or in the beginning of the spring. And I had this since I was pregnant with my daughter, Elizabeth. And I still use it. And I try to be pretty frugal with it. But that's our barn where we had our goats before, but they kind of busted through the door. We don't have goats anymore because we're getting older. My husband works a lot of hours. He works like 16, 18 hours. That's our chicken house. It's not the greatest. I have a better chicken house at my other farm. Good girl. That's Mama's girl. Hey, you being a good girl. Say hi. Hey, Lydia. Can you say hi? Look at me. Look at me, baby. You being shy? Okay. And there's Mama, Roxy. I gotta let my dogs out. It's first thing in the morning. Can you say hi? Can you say hi, baby? Look at me. Roxy, be still. Okay. Okay, that was Mama. These are my herbs. I'm in school for holistic medicine also, because I believe with homesteading and being off-grid, you should know how to take care of your family, physically and every way. So this is just some of my flowers. These are my basil, and these are some of my other ones I have down here. Let's see, we got sage, thyme, and more basil. And then in this other one, we have chocolate mint, which I love. I make a wonderful tea. I just actually fill my jug with cold water and I add some of this here, lemon basil right there. Okay, and then I add some of that chocolate mint, and then I have some lemon balm that's further down in the yard. I'll show you later. And what I do is I add chocolate mint, lemon balm, lemon basil, and I just steep it in cold jar and I keep it in there all day. These are my, let's see, this is hyssop. I just bought the other day. Actually, there was a farmer's market and they had the herbs 2 for $3, which is an excellent deal. So I just planted these the other day. This is my rose bush my friend planted for me. It's kind of going by now. It's September, so everything's going by a little bit. My grandsons, when they come over sometime, he plays with this. This little basketball hoop was my son's when he was little. And then I got my echinacea plant that I just put in. I have others, but these are some of the new ones I just placed in another hyssop. And let's see, this little thing right here is a piece of that rose bush. So I have pieces that I broke and I stick in the ground to grow more rose bushes. And this is my catmint. And this is my favorite bucket of basil right here. I love it. I love basil. These are some plants my sister gave me. They were cherry tomatoes. I'm going to bring them indoors and see how they do. And of course that's my lemon tree. And I'll show you my lime tree. And this is my lime tree. I've learned to mark my stuff because if you don't mark them, you'll forget. I'll show you what I mean. You see these beautiful looking tomato plants are just starting to come up in September. Well, I planted a bunch of yellow eye seeds. Don't ask me how I got the trays mixed up. I didn't mark them. And I don't know where this tomatoes came from, but I thought when I first put these in the ground, I'm like, they sure look like tomato plants, but I never planted yellow eye before, so I didn't know. Nope, they're tomato plants. I don't know how they got here, but I don't know what happened to my yellow eye. So mark your plants for next time. This arbor is made from a cattle panel, and I love it because I watched Roots and Refuge, and I was watching that's how I started watching that show, is I was looking at her arbors, her cattle panel arbors on her show, and I just loved it. And so thank you, Jessica, for that idea, and your husband, Jeremiah, because I've been doing it everywhere in my yard now. I think it's amazing. And this is my my friend lived here last year. We just moved here in November, so it's a lot of work trying to get this house back in shape, because we had a big farm and it was really going downhill. It was over 100 years old. We tried fixing it. The rock foundation, we moved away for when we first bought this house 7 years, and it just got really, the other house just got really, the rock foundation got pieces coming in, and the roof needs to be done. So we ended up coming back here in November, but we had it rented, and my friend planted all these. But of course, they're kind of going by, the herbs. My chickens got out and got into it because we didn't have that set up too well yet, but it's finally set up. Some of my echinacea still there. These are my older ones. This is my thyme, and I love this. So good, and it's so full. I'm starting to take pieces from it so I can bring it indoors. There's another echinacea I just planted for next year. Some lovage. I don't know if you could see them. That one there. I'm getting them ready for next year. This deck is so bad. And then I'll give you a close-up of my chocolate mint. I love that. It's kind of getting fall looking. That's why I'm bringing pieces inside. For those of you who aren't familiar, you can always take pieces of, I'll show you my yard. Pieces of your herbs and sprout them in water and then make more plants. This is my cucumbers, and they don't look too healthy. We got started, I'm trying to do the Back to Eden gardening method this year, and it's been good, but we were doing everything late. There's a few pickles left. In Maine, you don't have a very long growing season, and if you start late, we had so much snow last year, we couldn't even get started till late by the time the snow was gone. So, but the cucumbers look like they're doing good. They're coming back. Let's see, I have this my husband mowed and got the grass on top of the leaves, so it kind of burned him. I try to tell him that he's got to watch. So, but I guess whatever. That's why I want to get wood chips everywhere, so I don't have to worry about mowing. But I had some cute, there's another cute cucumber pickle. So anyways, this is my pea patch. It's just starting to grow. See, we lived here before, and this whole thing got ruined. And then when we moved away. So, because these garden beds were, let's see, really nice. And look at this one. I don't know if they hit it with a tractor trailer or a plow when they were plowing, whoever. Maybe it was this year, maybe it was, I don't know. But, so, and half that bed didn't really grow. I got some okra in there, but I don't know how well it's going to grow. And this raspberry bush, I don't even know. I put one stick in there and it took over after we moved away. But I want to re-transplant it, take pieces out and get rid of it, use my other bed, and move that somewhere else. So that'll be a project for next year. Anyways, and then this is my masterpiece that I love. We just did a beautiful arbor in our other house, in the farmhouse, and the grapes were growing up the trees everywhere because we were gone for 7 years, and we tried to fix it. It was just so much work, so we just ended up coming back here. But it's only an acre here, but we're getting older and we're just going to fix it. And it's not very private. That's why I didn't really like it, because it's so like too open, the road, the yard. So what I did is, I'll show you in a bit. We planted some trees, but this is my arbor. My husband had that idea to put the cattle panels on the end of each of it, the arbor, and he works a lot of hours. He still drives truck. We want to be completely off grid, but let's see, 1 second. I'll show you this first, and then I'll tell you that story. I want to get something down in here, but I do got some grapes. A lot of these are going to be Concord, I believe. That's what I planted, but it's been like 7-8 years now, so I don't know exactly if these are the right ones, but on my other farmhouse it's Concord. And they're starting to grow up there, so now I just got to get some more bars to go across. But he didn't really have much time because of his hours he works to build another arbor. So I had the idea, since everything was on clearance after summer, to buy this little arbor that it's like a tent. It has the tent canopy over the top, and I just figured for $149 I'll buy that and don't put the tent on it, and then put some more poles going across the top, and it'll make a perfect vast arbor. I'm trying to build something right now. No, was my phone ringing. So this is pretty cool, and then my husband had the idea to put my cattle panels. So my grapes are starting to grow on that cattle panel, and then next year this will fill in really good, so it'll be awesome. And then I want to put some either patios blocks underneath, so I can put a table and stuff under there. But these are the cattle panels, and actually, like, I don't have my husband around all the time to do some of these big jobs, so I bought these little plastic, I guess they use them for electric fence, and they stick in the ground easy, so you don't have to have those heavy posts, and they work fine. And they're like $1.69 a piece, and you know, the cattle panels are like $22 over here, and I just put that and zip tie it. It's pretty cool. And then that's an arbor my husband bought me, that little brown one. I think it was for Mother's Day. Thought that was going to be big enough for the grapes, but I'm more the homesteader here. He likes to work a lot, but he's really good. When we homestead before, he did the goats and milked them, and then when he had to go off to full-time work, it was just too much for me to do everything, and I had the kids' little babies to do the farming stuff. So now we just have chickens. I would like a Jersey cow, maybe at some point when he gets done working. Like I said, I haven't been very successful getting wood chips. It's been very hard to do the Back to Eden. So this one isn't doing too well. I don't know if I'll get anything, but I need to weed bad. But see, like I said, I'm doing everything myself, and I haven't had well, let's see, these are cabbages that are coming up. Hopefully we'll get some. I've never done celery before, and it's starting to come up. But they say the first year of Back to Eden gardening, you don't usually do too well, but then the second and third it goes better after the chips break down. These lettuce I let go to seed because I'm going to save the seed, and then I'm going to I'm going to save the seed and then replant them. And of course I have some fennel there. Never done that before either. I'm trying it. I've always had pretty good luck with tomatoes. I got some eggplant there. My tomatoes are always good. We did really small because I couldn't get the wood chips, and I just want to do the Back to Eden gardening. But I tell you, I did the Back to Eden gardening with the potatoes, and they did an awesome job. And I'll show you those in a few minutes. See, these are my tomatoes. I already got a ton of tomatoes, and I got some more eggplant coming up. I already picked some eggplant, but I got another little one there. I don't know how much time I'll have. But I wanted to get some more cattle panels to go across here so that I can put plastic over them if we get a frost, and maybe extend my seasoning. And then I planted some apple trees and some fruit trees. These are some of the trees I planted. I didn't have very good success with a lot of them. The ones I ordered online that were bare root, I don't want to say nothing about the company, but they didn't grow well. And the grass is high over here because my husband, I don't want him mowing around here because I don't want him to run my trees over because they're so small. This is our load of chips we just got from the town the other day. So I'm going to try to haul them in at least, so maybe next year we'll have a little more success. But these are some peach trees and pear trees. That's a big cherry tree, but I never got cherries on it, this big tree here. Because you're supposed to have two, one to alternate for the other, to pollinate them. And we had goats when we bought those, when we lived here before, and the goats chewed the other tree. That's why I don't want goats again. If I had a bigger farm, I would, but not over here. And we're suburb, but we're my rooster, but we're still too much in town. It's my apple tree, and so I got 2 more cherry trees, and I'm hoping they'll cross-pollinate, and then we'll have some trees next year, cherries. And this is high because it's one of my little trees, but I told my husband not to mow over here because I have these little trees that I planted for privacy. I want to get my whole yard more private. And I don't know if you could see in there, there's some sunflowers coming up. I don't know, they probably won't have time this year, but I just tried it as an experiment and threw them in the grass to give some privacy hedge. But I don't know where it was. I read where you can, I read somewhere where if you, oh, what is it? You buy those black seed oils, that, seeds that you use for like the birds and stuff, and just throw them on the ground, they'll grow sunflowers. And they did. So I don't care what kind they are. I don't care. I'm not doing them for eating. I'm just doing them for hedge, for privacy hedge, and for now. And I did plant some hollyhocks over there, but the roots, and I did it late in the year, so hopefully I'll get some next year. But I'll show you my potatoes. This is my back to Eden gardening potatoes, and they look amazing. I watched that show with Paul Gauchi, and I love it. It was so amazing because I just think it's fascinating, because that was one of my biggest problems, is weeding, getting out and doing everything myself, because my kids, even though we have 10 kids, I only have 2 at home, and I have a teenager who's in senior year, so she's busy with school and working, and she wants to go into physical therapy, so she's got a lot on her plate. And my other son's in middle school, and he's a big help, but he's still in school a lot. And so I did this where Paul said you just mow your grass under your tree, and then put your potatoes right on the ground, and then put like 6-7 inches of layer of mulch. And I did that, and they coming up beautiful. And I even dug it up, and I had some good sized potatoes in there. I'm not picking them now because you're supposed to wait for them to die off for the first frost, and then 2 weeks after, if you wait, you'll get your potatoes so that you can store them for the winter. If you pick them now, they're going to be new potatoes, and then you won't get anything, like, you won't be able to store them. And we want them to store, so that's what I did. So after I've seen this work, this is all an experiment this year, and hopefully we'll get enough wood chips in this whole area. See, all of the grass is high. Those are all my trees. I put those stakes in, little trees that I bought, my orchard. If I can get that all filled in with wood chips, this whole garden area, like the Back to Eden gardening, then this way next year it'll be pretty much ready to go. We spent more time doing construction stuff, like, not major, but like doing the arbors and trying to get the wood chips in, and it was a lot. But now I know more what to do, and especially with my potatoes, I'm going to do a lot. So after I did this and I seen it came up, I started with the smaller trees, doing a few. I figured if they come up, they come up. I had some old potatoes that were going bad in the house, and they're coming up, so we'll see what we get. And I did one more little tree. Gravel truck or something going down. And this one here, what, my shadow. Doesn't look like much. I think just one came up over here, but whatever, it's potato. So, that's my chicken coop. My chickens. And this is it's just a flower bed that was here when we moved here, and then I tried to add some things. My chickens really destroyed a lot of my stuff, because when we first moved here, my other chicken house, which is my favorite that I custom built myself, my older son helped me a little bit with the roof, is at my other farm, and it had this little makeshift, I'll show it to you, this apple tree. I wanted to cut it down so bad to half the size, but it's been here when we bought the house. But this is my babies, my chickens. This was a chicken tractor we used for meat birds, but we didn't do that this year. These are my babies, and this used to be my cattle panel It used to be a greenhouse, and then we used it for the chickens. Hey, babies. You want to be on TV? Yeah. So I have a silky rooster, and he's got a silky wife. She always stays inside. She likes to be broody. But I let them out in the fall, and I'm trying to set this up where we can put a bigger thing. What do you call it? This tractor here. Set it up so that we can get a different door so they can go into that and move it around a little bit. But right now, everything was done last minute because we just moved here in November. And so we have a really, really old chicken house. Not very good. I don't like it because I have to go inside to get the eggs, and I don't like that. And my other one is set up so I can go on the outside and get it. But, yeah. So it's a lot of work here. We have a built-in outside stove that was here when we moved here. We had our junk pile of sticks and stuff. And we also have a screen house. That hasn't been done yet. We didn't even have time to think about what we're going to do there. But at least in this video, you'll see how things progress eventually. But that's our little chimney. And this is our old house. Our house. Needing some work, but anyways, thank you for taking a walk with me around my yard. And oh wait, I forgot to show you my favorite spot in this house. I love it. Is why, see, we have a farmhouse that needs a lot of work, and then we also have a camp that's on the river. We're trying to sell those. See, that's why my husband still has to work. We want to go full-time homesteading, but because of all the properties we own, don't ask me how. We got into them because, like, the old farmhouse, we bought this because we were trying to get, my husband was tired of working on the old house, and I couldn't do it. Didn't have furnace. He had wood stoves. And I'll get into more of that in other videos. And I had my youngest baby, and I was like, I just can't do this in the winter, going out and getting wood and doing all this stuff with the babies and the kids. And he was going working, driving truck 14, 16, 18 hours a day. So we bought this house, and it was by the river, and it was by the river, so it was a beautiful spot, and it was convenient. So we figured we'd just leave the farm and go back there later on or something, and work on it when we were older and had time. And we bought this house in town, but it was so open, and it's in a small town, and it's a nice little town, but it's not very private, even though it's country. So and I'm on YouTube, but I am kind of, I don't know, I just like my privacy sometimes. Like if I'm out in the yard, I don't like people walking by when I'm doing stuff. And if I want to have a cookout or something, I don't know, I'm funny that way. So anyways, I'll put this around so you can see my view. This is around the front, but I'll show you the view. And it's like this house they built, and my husband wants to add on. We wanted to get some solar panels. We have some at our camp. We lived off grid there and at the farmhouse. Over here we still have electric, but we want to get set up for emergency. Let's see. And that's the river. I don't know if you can see it from here. But anyways, I'll take a walk down by there later, and then you can see it. So, I don't know if you can zoom in with this. Yeah, see that? It's reflecting so much, it looks like the trees. Right across the street is the river. It's beautiful at night when the sun sets on it. Anyways, so that's where we are. And it's a lot of work. And it's hard when you have to do it because he's gone a lot. He has to work a lot. But, so if you're Christian and you are a praying person, pray that we sell our other properties so he can get done and we can go full-time homesteading. We are homesteading. I do all that. I make soaps. I do all that stuff. And I would like to get a Jersey cow for milking. And I always wanted sheep, but not in this small acres. But, well, thank you for coming along. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And God willing, I'll be getting more videos made of some canning and other things I'll be doing. And then maybe the next year, you'll see the big difference in this yard and garden. So, well, thank you for watching. This concludes this video. It's one of our first ones for homesteading. We really felt to start doing some videos because we did homesteading for years and we lived off grid, and there were so many things we learned that we can help people with that were simplified a lot of the homesteading. Like people, you know, I just can't even get into it. I'll make videos on it. But then we went off grid for a while. I mean, we went back on the grid because my husband was working a lot of hours and it just got too hectic for me. We had 10 kids at the time, and we had a blast. But now that we're doing all this, and it's just, we realized that we had a best time when we were off grid, when we did things. So we're doing that again, and we're going to teach you. This is one of our first ones. I do apologize that our video, that I used the cell phone and it came out the other way, and my other videos will be widescreen, so I'm sorry. But if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We also have 2 other channels. My first one, my first channel was Lori 10 Kids. It's LORI10KIDS. And that was mostly when our kids were younger, and it was a lot of videos from church and our ministry, music videos and family videos. But then we have, when I started school for holistic medicine like 4 years ago, at the American College of Healthcare Sciences in Oregon, I had to make videos for some of my assignments, and a lot of them on herbal medicines and different types of things on health and wellness. And that's under Lori Jacobs. So if you get a chance, check us out, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. And I really went into holistic medicine because living off grid and doing all these things, you know, it being more self-sufficient. And with the medical field and all this stuff, if you're living off grid, you shouldn't have to run to the emergency room for every little thing. You should be able to stay healthy. It's eating healthy, it's vitamins, it's knowing the right herbs that are everywhere in your backyard, all over the place, that are healthy medicines, natural medicines. And so the things God showed me, it just got me excited, and I wanted to learn more. So, but I'll go into those later on in some of the other videos. There's so many things God showed me that was amazing. But anyways, I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a blessed day, and I thank you for watching.